I'm doing Depth vs. Heard, entertainment, pop culture, things like that. This here is from TMZ from November 22nd, 2022. And of course, you might know Amber's getting sued by her insurance company, but now she's going to countersue. So it seems like the lawsuits keep going on and on and on. It's called Amber Heard Countersues Insurance Company. You do have to cover me. Let's begin. Amber Heard says her $1 million insurance policy does in fact have to cover her in the Johnny Depp trial and verdict, and she's asking a judge to confirm it. The actress countersued New York Marine and General Insurance Company after they first asked a judge to let him off the hook for $1 million liability policy she'd taken out to protect her from defamation claims. But the problem, as we know, is it doesn't cover bad intention statements. The defamation it covers is something you probably say by accident, you didn't mean, you're caught up, you're insured for it. What she did was proven to be deliberate. So that's what the company's saying, is that they don't have to cover deliberate actions that have bad intentions. I guess it'll go to court and we'll find out more and see. Their argument was based on the fact that the jury found Amber's committed willful misconduct in her defamation of Johnny, and under California law, they say that gives them an out in having to fulfill the policy. In other words, they believe they're not responsible. And it would seem they were watching the trial like a lot of Amber fans don't do, and they saw, hey, wait a minute, Amber did this stuff to Johnny deliberately. We don't have to pay her. So the people really thinking critically about it with millions of dollars on the line, they're the ones that get it right here. Obviously, by default, they end up on Johnny's side. In the court docs obtained by TMZ, Amber argues the exact opposite, namely that New York Marine promised to pay her defense costs and judgments against her up to $1 million no matter what. I mean, it's got to be written in a contract somewhere. It's not just a word of mouth contest here where they said no matter what. That shouldn't be so hard to find out facts on. That's the unconditional deal she claims they struck with her, and she says they haven't lived up to their end of the bargain. Of course, it seems like Amber says the opposite of what the other person accuses her of. In this case, hey, I honestly don't know. It's a lot of paperwork, contracts, fine print, I'm sure. It's not as clear cut as the last case she was in, but it seems like a typical pattern with her. H says that in trying to wipe their hands clean, they're turning their back on that argument, including breach of contract, among other claims. Still, the fact that the insurance company pressed the issue now, she's met them on the field and asked the judge to require the insurer to pony up. I guess even if it's in contract, the wording might be such where they could each argue what they think the wording meant. I mean, professionals write a contract, but they're not all perfect. Sometimes you just maybe need one or two extra ideas or extra things in there to express what you're trying to say. And if the contract's not written properly, you might be able to argue it out in court. I guess that's what happened here. And of course, I checked out Twitter because they always tweet out the articles like everybody else. And Johnny Depp says up here, and who's paying for this one? That's the question on everyone's mind. Where's she getting the money to countersue from? Samantha says, from when Johnny forked over $7 million, but the speculation is that that money's probably gone by now. And Dark Celine says she can never accept responsibility for anything. She thinks she's the queen and everyone has to be at her feet and accept her demands without protesting. This kid really has to grow up. And Ronald says, well said. Well, that's along the lines of what I'm saying is, although I'm no expert and probably you guys are no expert in contracts and meaning of clauses and statements, you can see a pattern here of just flipping around the claim and blaming the other side. And this person here says, Amber fan by the way, I love how she doesn't ever back down when she is right. She is so damn strong. Hey, gonna feature everyone's opinion. It's on there, it's on the thread. And Dr. Truthseeker asks again, who's paying? I wish I had a definitive answer for you guys, but I'm speculating on it and I'm not quite coming up with a good answer. And Depp is King says, how much do you guys have to pay for this tip? She must have you guys on speed dial. This is far beyond global humiliation. She's totally ruined herself and everyone in her life, and Johnny had nothing to do with it. Sweet karma. Ragamuffin says, good for her, and rooting for an insurance company is gross, so this comment section need to get a grip of their hatred. Wait a minute. You know, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, these insurance companies stealing all my money. And you know what? They take a lot. They really do. It could be less. However, it's a necessary evil. Without insurance, what are you going to do? Especially with like driving, accidents, cars, medical, you just need insurance. So I understand they're in a strong position to take advantage, and they sometimes do, but you really can't live without them. And again, speculation, where did she get the money from? Obviously, the huge elephant in the room is Elon Musk, but that ship has sailed for me. I don't think he's helping her anymore. He's got a lot going on with his life, and I don't think he needs the drama. He's also got a lot of people who don't like him, trying to stop him, you could say, and having Amber as some kind of an ally for someone to find out about really seems like it would be not such a good thing for him. So I think he's just like, no, I did my thing back then, but that's it now. That's my opinion, though. Obviously, some people are going to be thinking that. You let me know what you're thinking down below. Doing shout outs, special thanks, things like that. If you're not subscribed here, please do. And if you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.